Building in Minecraft is rather significant, wouldn't you say? Due to it being the main feature of this wonderful game. Your creativity and expression is what makes your experience playing this game unique and special. However, there are a lot of people who feel they're limited as to what they can do and achieve when building in Minecraft. That is not true at all, and today I'm going to tell you why, and we're going to be using possibly the most common and easy example that we can all relate to when building: houses. So for this video, rather than looking at in-depth techniques you can use to upgrade your houses, we're going to discuss crucial general advice which should help you not only become a better builder, but hopefully make you enjoy Minecraft a whole lot more. The very first mistake, and I say that word loosely, mistake, the very first mistake most people make when building their houses is actually made before they start building the house in the first place. One of the most important things you need to consider for your house is its location. This is imperative for so many reasons. The location actually directly controls the vast majority of motivation you have for building and upgrading your house. You don't want to waste weeks of building and construction only to realize you're getting bored of the same scenery and what the immediate area has to offer. If you're playing survival mode, ask yourself, does this place look 10 out of 10? Not 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. If not, don't settle for it. Find that one place that makes you think passionately about what you could do with the surroundings. Oh, I could build a bridge between these two mountains. Hey, I could build a tower over there on that hill, or I could have a large animal or crop farm here on this free open land. Don't spend 10 seconds or even a minute choosing a destination to settle down, because you're going to spend a lot of time and resources over the coming days, weeks, or months right there. Find out what is important to you in a location. Flat land, hills, mountains, lakes, a nearby underground cave entrance, nearby village, substantial amount of trees which you like the color of wood they produce, little things like that. You're allowed to be fussy because you don't have limited options in this game, you have limitless options. So once you've found a location that ticks all your boxes, once again, before you start building your house, you need to make another super important decision. This too could save you lots and lots of time in the long run. You need to decide what blocks and textures you want to use to create your house, base, or even castle. Sticking to a theme is vital because it's visually comfortable to look at and doesn't make you feel uneasy. If a color theme isn't chosen early on, you'll find some parts of your house or base won't really match up and flow well together, which could lead you to the worst possible outcome, and it's quite common. Deciding, hey, I'm not really happy with this, then demolishing and starting again, which is what we're trying to avoid here, of course. So to do that, there's a special rule I personally use and follow. I myself call this rule the rule of 4. What this means is before you build your house, choose a minimum of 4 textures. Using these 4 or more textures, you're going to build your house. We do this so the house doesn't lack interest and color. For example, oak wood, cobblestone, stone bricks, and spruce and or oak wood planks is a nice, basic, and appealing choice. Then say, okay, I'll have stone bricks for the roof, oak and spruce planks for the walls, and oak wood for the corners, and maybe have cobblestone for paths. That right there is your color theme. Once you've decided on a color theme or block template, if you will, I heavily recommend building near some sort of terrain feature like a hill or mountain or lake or cave. Incorporating the land structure into houses looks great, looks interesting, looks professional, creative, and shows that you've paid attention to your location. Using it and molding it and showing your creative side has decided, rather than build on a standard flat open piece of land which everyone does and is so standard, you've chosen to mold your structure around some sort of gradient land formation, and that is interesting. Working around land formations is like having an automatic idea generator, because rather than wondering where and what to build next, the land itself will guide you. That sounds kind of weird, but trust me, it's a fantastic form of idea generation and keeps your house on the move in interesting directions, making it unique. Once you've chosen that interesting land formation, now you can begin on choosing the shape of your house. When building a house, I'd personally say the shape is the most important decision you could possibly make. I'll discuss 2 techniques you can use if you're short on ideas for a shape of a house. It's like looking at a blank canvas with no inspiration or direction, and that's perfectly normal. So here's how to get yourself out of that situation. Look at my tutorials. Only kidding. Firstly, we don't want to make our house big, square, and blocky. That is a big, square, blocky no-no. When we talk shape, we talk deviation, branching from a standard shape and giving it some character. The first method we'll be looking at for shape is using the attachable cuboid method, a very commonly used one, especially amongst novice builders. Start by building a minimum 6x6 3D hollow cube. Once you've got your first cube built, attach another one on, and another, and maybe even another, and you're going to play a little game with yourself in choosing which face of the next cube you're going to place a cube on, and make sure to eventually curve it, no perfect squares or rectangles. Before you go nuts with that, think what purposes you want your house to fulfill, for example furnacing, storage, enchanting, crafting, etc. So you can figure out roughly how many rooms you will need inside, ultimately deciding how big your house should be. Remember, you never want to have all these jobs based in a single room or even 2. Make separate rooms for each type of job. Different rooms simply give the interior design of a house some flavor, so separate different jobs or purposes into separate rooms. That is a must. Once you've got a rough estimate of the amount of jobs in mind, you can now finish the shape of your house using the attachable cuboid method. The other method, even more commonly used, especially amongst my team of builders, is floor plans. Most people tend to head straight into throwing down some walls when starting a house. What this does is it takes your mind off the possible shape and design of the house, and they end up running short on space, so quick fixes with additional rooms ends up in one big sloppy, rushed mess. So to avoid this, you start with a floor plan. Here are some simple ways you can go about floor plans. Some are more directed for beginners for a cleaner setup, and the others for more familiarized builders who have used this technique over and over. And I must say, setting up a house using this floor plan method is my personal favorite way of building. It's fast, simple, and helps me visualize a direction in where I wish to take my house. Once you've decided and settled on your room arrangement, make sure your walls are at least 4 blocks high and no lower, as you don't want to constrict yourself into a small roofed claustrophobic building scheme. Make it nice and spacious, and 4 blocks high I call working space. If you want to make it lower and make it 3 blocks, you can, because you've allowed yourself that room for change. If you want to do something to the corners of the ceiling without restricting your movement, you can. 4 block high walls are not compulsory, but I guess you could call it playing it safe until you have a final design in mind. In almost any case, I'd recommend making a second story to your house, maybe even more since it's Minecraft after all. Be careful though not to slip into this commonly broken rule of design. If you double the height of all rooms you've built so far, you're heading for a big, tall, blocky build. So to avoid that, select some nearby rooms on the second floor to have a second floor. The rest of the rooms can be roofed off soon. Moving on to the final steps of the exterior, the roof. Oh boy, the roof. Making a nice roof can be the hardest step when building a house. Design-wise, it's a make or break. It's like looking at someone's face. It could be a nice face, but if the hair looks funny, then it kind of throws you off a bit. The best piece of advice I can give with making roofs is have a roof. Do not make a house and expect it to look great if you're not going to bother with a roof. To achieve a nice roof, abuse the use of stairs. Make your roofs arc. It could be symmetrical or it could be one-sided. A nice touch is having a different textured stair on the end of the roof, and you must ensure your roofs hang over the walls of your house. This way, it adds another important element of depth to the entire design. Once again, be careful though. Too many stairs going diagonal doesn't look good, however. So if you want something high, mix it up with some slabs or full blocks like my builder Yogurt Boy is doing here. Rather than just 7 diagonal stairs going up, he's breaking it up with some full blocks of the same texture. Roofs are not something you'll pick up in a day. If you're new to them, it will take some time, so be patient, Keep trying and you will eventually get it right and right again and again. Now you're ready to add the interior design to your house, and this is where it gets a little tricky for me to explain because this is where everyone's personal tastes start to differ. I know that through personal experience, due to having made plenty of house tutorials, people have loathed and loved the same thing, and that is completely fine. If we all like the same thing, there'd be no such thing as differentiation or opinions, but that's another discussion. So with your interior, try something different, like choosing to have the bed in an interesting place. Maybe include a sunken lounge. Maybe include an attic with some secret storage. As far as decorating goes, don't get lazy. Whether you're in creative or survival mode, take a look at the items that are available to you or the ones you'll have to get and use them all around the house. Paintings are a great way to use up blank spaces on the wall. If the ceilings feel too high, wrap upside down stairs around the corners to get rid of that big empty block vibe. Make benches with a pot and flowers in front of windows. Things like that. Breathe some life into your house. It's not a waste of time or resources when it's purely for looks, as these type of things make you feel better about the place you're spending hours on end in. As you design the interior of your house, don't feel constrained in any way. If you have an idea, try it out, seize it. It may work or maybe it won't. You'll never know unless you try. That's the nature of ideas, and you may even surprise yourself. Creativity comes from ideas, and creativity is a very powerful weapon of design. Remember, if you don't fail, you don't learn. So go ahead, make mistakes, make changes, and be a perfectionist, because eventually you'll hit it right on the nail. We generally aren't proud of things we haven't put too much work into, but when we've sunk a lot of time into something because we care about its outcome and we finally get the outcome right, those are the things we remember. And when you return to your nice multiple story coloured house in its stunning location, wrapping itself around the land, built by the one and only you, it's those memories that we treasure. And that's what's going to make you happy and proud of when returning back home after a day out adventuring. So if you don't believe you can achieve something great when building, just remember the biggest hurdle when creating is a direction. Once you have a clear idea of what you want, using these techniques we discussed in this video, you should now hopefully find it a bit easier to create whatever is buried deep down in your brain. And every single last person has great ideas. The tricky part can just be finding them. What we've discussed in this episode is simply how we can find them and how to spark new ones. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you all the best of luck with this advice and your future houses and building endeavors. I don't really post videos anywhere near a daily basis, probably because I spend way too much time on each one. But if you're interested in my type of content and you don't want to miss anything from me, you can click this bell button next to the subscribe button and check the box to ensure you stay in touch with my work. Please go ahead and enjoy the rest of your day or night. Wish you all the best, and until next time, goodbye.